So sitting in a nice crossed-legged position, and just take a moment to just gently close the outer eyes. And take a nice big inhale through the nostrils. Send it right down into the pelvis, and a slower, controlled exhale. All through the nose. And let's begin to make our exhales longer than our inhales. So we'll inhale for a count of 3, 2, 1, and just hold for a beat. And then we're going to exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's called the double down breath. And this is a great breathing technique that you can, you always double up the exhale. And this is a breath that's really helped people to quit smoking because of the way that it calms the nervous system, which we're getting when we choke on a cigarette, and the way that we breathe. So exhale all of the air out. And we'll inhale 2, 3, hold. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, hold. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, hold. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just allow a moment just to be with your natural breath here now. We've expanded our lung capacity, ignited our diaphragm, and begin to bring this consciousness to breath that we do unconsciously, but have so much power in bringing consciousness to. And now as we inhale, I want us to scoop up the chest forward, send the tailbone back, think long with the neck, not dropping the neck back, and bringing the heart forward, shoulders back. And as we exhale, leading with the tailbone tucking under first, rolling through so the belly button comes to the spine, and the shoulders doming around the back, heart coming through the back of the shoulders. So it's a cat-cow but seated. Inhale, scooping and opening, and exhale, scooping back and hollowing. Inhale, scooping forward, send the sit bones, tailbone back, looking up without dropping back in the neck, reaching the heart forward. Exhale, scooping the tailbone under, belly button to spine, heart through the back of the shoulders, holding onto the knees for balance. And this time we can start to make a little bit of a circle. So we're going to inhale, bringing the right side of the shoulder over towards the right knee, and then bring it over to the left. And as you exhale, keeping that motion, the tailbone tucks under, we come around. Inhaling to come forward, bringing the neck into it softly. And close your eyes for a moment. Take it slow, make it sensual. Feel the way through the motions of your spine, realizing and remembering all of these circular and side type motions that we forget about when we get stiff and we get tense and we get stuck in one posture. Go ahead and bring those circles around in the other direction. Not worrying about what they look like, if they should look a different way, but just feeling and following your breath and trusting your breath to teach you about you in this moment. And knowing, okay, so maybe not all of your circles can fully come around. You have some tension, you have some dark spots. Just accept that today as a lesson, as a journey, and keep breathing into those places. Bring awareness back into those forgotten areas of your spine. And then slow that circle down that you're on. Come to a nice neutral position. And from here, actually just, no, we're okay. We'll keep the legs like this. We'll recross them in a minute. We're going to inhale the arms up to shoulder height. And once you're here, feel the sensation of reaching out through the fingertips. So we create an expansion through the joints, through the bones, before we go into something that may then contract. And that's what we want to find in our yoga, expansion and contraction, and the beautiful balance between the two. Inhale, feel that stretch outwards, and as you exhale, bring the left arm up and back. So you're bringing the flat part of your left hand to the middle of your back. Inhale the right one up, and you can just lightly place the right hand on the left shoulder. Draw the shoulders down the back. Inhale, filling the lungs, sending it into the pelvis, sending it down to get that grounding feeling. And exhale, drawing in and up, sending the shoulders down the back. And if you would like it a little bit more intense, then you can sweep that right arm behind and come to find the fingertips, holding into the fingertips. And then again, find that sensation of pulling against them so that we're finding both expansion and contraction healthily throughout the bones and the joints. And let's take one more breath here. Take a nice 360-degree breath into the lungs. That lovely slow and controlled exhale. And on the next inhale, gently ungrip the fingers, spiral the arms out, find a quality to your movement that you enjoy. And then go ahead and we'll just spiral up the opposite arm, so either coming to find the hand flat in the centre of the back, sweeping the left arm up and over, finding the right elbow with the left hand and just gently placing it there. We don't need to push or force it. We're just going to place it there as a gentle reminder for the shoulders to slide down the back. And breathe into this place where your hand is touching your neck, and just see how that feels when you really send the breath there. Feel the skin against your hand, feel the expansion your body naturally makes for breath. And if you want to take this a little bit further, go ahead, spiral that left arm behind, up, and then find the fingertips. Take a nice big inhale, exhale, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, drawing that right elbow away from the head. And take another nice big inhale through the nostrils, that slow controlled breath out of the nostrils. And as you inhale, just spiraling the arms out, finding that quality of movement that you enjoy, reaching out through the fingertips. And exhale, bringing the hands to the knees. Now coming into pretzel. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross the right knee over the left knee, bringing the right heel in towards the side of the left side of the buttock, and then bringing the left heel into the right side of the buttock. Love saying buttock, by the way. If this is too much for you, you can't get the knees aligned there, then we can extend the left leg out. Just bring your hands down to the mat. If you're doing so, just check that you're up on the sit bones. Be wary if we're rounding through the lower back to start thinking about wanting a nice, long, straight line up from the tailbone here up this lower back. So either extending the left leg out or tucking the left heel in, and allow that left right foot to come down onto the side. Inhale as you root down through the tailbones, so send sit bones and tailbones back down to the mat, but sit up tall through the spine. Imagine the crown is lifting you up to the heavens, and as you exhale, begin to fold forward, creeping the hands forward, tucking the chin under, and using the hands, if you find that you're rolling up off the sit bones and forward, just using the hands gently press against the ground to keep a good sit bone connection. And let's take some nice deep breaths here. This is a really good stretch for releasing the lower back, and also a really nice stretch for the sciatic nerve. So taking an inhale now, thinking about the inhales, slow and controlled, but the exhale slower. And with each exhale, releasing a little bit more of the weight of the body in towards the leg. Not trying to reach the head really far over here. We can relax the neck down. We're allowing a stretch throughout the back. As you inhale, keep sending the breath deep into the tailbone, into the sit bones, to the mat, so that we make the most of this position for our sciatic nerve. One more breath here. And then go ahead, push into the hands, walk the hands in towards the body. And then what we're going to do is actually bring that right foot, the one that's crossed over, bring it up so that we're planting the right foot down to the mat. Bring the right hand here behind you, just slightly behind the right sit bone. Keep connected through both sit bones. And we're going to inhale as the left arm comes up. Now this one's got a funny name. It's called the half lord of the fishes. So bring that left arm up, and as you exhale, we're going to bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Once you get it there and you're anchored in, remember to keep both sit bones anchored to the ground, and we'll take a nice inhale to just ground those sit bones down, send it to the tailbone, grow up tall through the top of your head, and as you exhale, think about twisting from the belly button and come to gaze over that right shoulder. So you can see from here the twist. So we've got that elbow, we're pressing the elbow into the left side, into the side of the leg, and the knee back into the elbow. Inhale, grows tall. Try not to drop out in the lower back to try and get a deeper twist. Think about twisting a little deeper from the rib cage on the next exhale. One more breath in here, inhaling, growing up nice and tall. Exhale, this time maybe seeing if you can look a little further over the shoulder with the neck. Without forcing it, just gently letting the breath guide you. Inhale, bring the gaze back forward, unanchor the elbow. I'm going to turn around, doing circles here. And then we're going to go ahead and switch the legs over, going back to our pretzel legs first for that fold. So left knee crosses over the right knee, trying to find that knee alignment. And if you can't quite get that knee alignment today, no problem. We've got the variation for you, just reaching out that right leg. So still trying to align the knees best you can. Don't force it, but that is where it's heading. So from here, just taking a moment, inhale, grounding the sit bones, grounding down, really sending the tailbone down to the earth, sitting up tall through the spine, and as you exhale, decompressing, bringing the belly towards the top of the thigh, walking the hands forward and using the hands to prevent you from rolling right forward on the sit bones so that we make the most of it, getting deep into the lower back and the sciatic nerves. Inhale, 360-degree breath. Make sure the chin is tucked under so we get a nice long neck, and we're just again getting more of the stretch, more of the vertebrae involved, more lengthening through the spinal muscles that support your vertebrae. Inhaling through the nose, and even slower, controlled exhales through the nose, decompressing the joints. One more breath here. Nice work. And then press into the hands on the inhale. Start to walk the hands in towards the body. Bring that left foot flat down to the ground as we anchor ourselves in now for our half lord of the fishes, whatever that means. Bring the left hand just back out from the left sit bone. Inhale, send that grounding wave down to the tailbone through the pointy prominences of the sit bones, connecting you to Mother Earth. And bring that right arm up, and on the exhale, bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Anchor in. Inhale, grow tall through the spine, send those sit bones down to earth. Exhale, twist from the belly button, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale again, thinking about growing out tall through the top of the head and grounding down through the sit bones. Exhale, this time twisting from the rib cage. Not compromising our lower back, not bringing the hips up to try and find a deeper twist, not trying to emulate the exorcist today. Inhale, go tall, and exhale, see if you can twist a little more from the neck. Bring the heart up a little bit, see how that feels. It feels really good to me. I hope it feels good to you too. Inhale, bring the gaze forward first, then unanchor the elbow. Go ahead, bring both hands behind you and extend the legs out in front. So, legs extended out in front. I always like to take a minute here. I'm a little bootylicious, maybe you are. Just to take a little bit of the fat from that gorgeous booty and make sure that you can feel the bony prominences of your sit bones. Drive the femurs back into the hip sockets. Press the heels down into the ground. Check in with your lower back. Okay, so maybe today it's really round and you can't force that up. But what a wonderful thing to become aware that we're trying to strengthen and lengthen that. Muscles should be long and strong. So bringing the hands down to the side of the sit bones, just bring yourself on your fingertips and just take a moment here, drawing the shoulders down the back, grounding down while thinking up nice and lengthened from the crown of your head. And while we're here, let's just make some ankle rotations. So pointing the feet forward and then flexing the feet towards the body. Be wary, don't bring the heels up off the ground. Don't force it. And just bringing some awareness into it. Again, maybe you're finding that one ankle or both ankles, they don't really circle anymore. And that's okay for now. It's great to bring awareness back into it, but we come back to the yoga mat with this connection to breath and movement so that we can learn these things and create again that healthy strength, that healthy space, that we don't need to deteriorate so much as we get, we can build ourselves back. All right, bring those circles back around in the other direction. Our aches and pains as we get older come a lot through our unconscious posture and things that we've let happen to us. So I want to challenge that feeling of aging and aching and say, no, if we do it right, maybe we can feel better than ever. Go ahead and just finish the circle that you're on, finding that stillness. And we're going to come in for a forward fold. You do not need to lock the knees or try to keep the legs straight. You can bend them right in. Definitely take a moment again, just checking that the sit bones are connected. I'm going to keep my knees bent to show you because it feels great when I don't compromise my lower back for a forward fold. So inhale as we grow up tall through the spine. Exhale, thinking about sending the front of the hips forward towards the top of the thighs, tucking the chin under, finding a nice long neck. Come to hold the calves or the ankles. Draw the shoulders down the back. Gaze just towards the top of your big toes to prevent you from sticking the chin out. Inhale and exhale. If you want from here, you can start to think about maybe straightening the legs a little more. Maybe pointing the toes. Maybe even if your belly is to the thighs, bowing the head down. And taking a few breaths here. 1. Each exhale, soften and release to the fold. Last breath here. Inhale, bring the gaze up first if the head is bowed. Bring the hands onto the legs and walk the hands up the legs to bring the body upright. From here, coming into a gentle twist. Again, bring that right hand just back and out from the right sit bone. Inhale, grow tall, and as you exhale, reach that left hand down, either to find the left calf, the left ankle, or the outside of the left foot. Inhale again to prepare, send the femurs back into the hip sockets, lengthen from the lower back. And as you exhale, see if you can lift that right leg up, gaze back over the right shoulder. Squeeze the inner thighs, go in if you want, even thinking about extending that right arm back and gazing back at the fingertips. Lift the heart up and forward for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release that foot down. Come back up, walk the hands up the body, maybe even shake out the legs a little. And then bring that left hand back just behind the left sit bone. Inhale, prepare, grow tall, drive the femurs back into the hips. Exhale as you lean in, finding your variation, even holding the outside of the left leg, the outside of the left ankle, or the outside of the left foot. I've got that right. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, lifting up that left foot, pointing through the toes if it feels good, and maybe even extending that left arm back. Think about drawing the shoulders down the back. And we'll stay here for 3. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, slow and controlled. 1 more breath. And then slowly bring that hand and bring that foot down. Nice work, good job guys. Go ahead and shift the bum towards the heels. Find the feet nice and flat to the ground. Exhale, come to lay down. And we're going to go for bridge pose here, but just a few things to prepare before our bridge pose. So we want to make sure that we have a really nice neutral pelvis before we begin. So before we do that, let's just take a moment, just rock the pelvis forward, see where is your edge, where not to go and arch any further in that lumbar, and then go ahead, Tilt the pelvis backwards and start to understand that, this is the backwards movement when we are pressing the sacrum and the lower back into the mat. Then we're tilting the pelvis back posteriorly. And when we tilt it forward anteriorly, the front of your hip bones is heading closer towards your thigh and your femur here. And we're opening up and hollowing through the lumbar. And then what we want to do is rest in the middle. So we don't want to be pressing or pinching too far on either side. Then we want to place our hands on our femurs at the top here and push. Feel that traction. Create a little pocket of space in your hip socket here. So many little ligaments, so many things going on. Give them space, baby. Give them space. Now, from here, bringing the palms of the hands down to the ground, we're going to start to press into the feet, press into the big toe mound, press into the heels, and start to lift the bum. Don't squeeze the bum. The bum is loose. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Press the hands into the mat. Keep sending the tailbone back down towards the ground. We want a lower back release here. Lengthen through the tops of your femurs, nice and long, anteriorly tilting the pelvis to create the space in the lower back. Bum should be jiggly wiggly. Squeeze the inner thighs together. If you're struggling with releasing the bum, press the big toe mound into the mat. Now if you're where I am and you've got some good weight coming into the shoulders, shuffle the shoulders underneath and interlace the fingers. Bringing those fingers then down, drive them into the ground, lift the heart, open up the belly. Inhale, finding some stillness here for 3. 2, keep squeezing inner thighs together. Keep sending that tailbone back down towards the ground. Lengthening through the femur. And 1, unlace the fingers, begin to shuffle the shoulders back out and bring the tailbone lower back down first. Then rest the rest down. Draw the knees in towards the chest, give them a little squeeze. You can take a little rock here from left to right and give your sacrum a nice little massage. Breathing deeply. Maybe even closing the eyes for a moment here. Neutralizing the body. Checking in with the breath. And then just as a last little stretch, what we're going to do, bring that left foot down to the mat. Go ahead and bring the right ankle crossing over just above the left knee. Drive that right knee out, flex the right foot. Inhale to prepare, send the sit bones down, widen out through the hips, and as you exhale, draw that left knee in towards the chest, coming to interlace the fingers either behind the left thigh or on top of the left calf, but be careful not to push the lower back into the mat. And again, this is a really nice hip opening stretch and a really, really good relief for your piriformis muscle, which is often what gets swollen and presses into your sciatic nerve. So this can be a great way to release that muscle and help to alleviate sciatic symptoms, but also is a great practice just to keep on doing to help bring the swelling down from the piriformis muscle and eventually, hopefully, actually find that you don't have those symptoms of sciatica anymore as long as you stay on top of that. Inhaling into the sit bones and still exhaling, drawing in and up as that creates the space in our hips. One more breath here. And as you exhale now, just release that leg. And bring the left foot down to the mat. And actually what you're going to do is just cross the right knee over. So, you know, like we're kind of hanging out in the dentist's office over here. Inhale, then I want you to shift the bum over to the right side a little bit. Is that right? Wait, left foot on. Yes, that's right. So shift the bum over to the right side. Make sure the arms are out shoulder height. Lift the feet back up off the ground, but keeping the knees over the hips. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, let the knees come over to the left side. Bring the gaze over to the right side, but keep the right shoulder connected to the ground. Inhale here, send it down to the sit bones, down to the tailbone. Exhale, drawing in and up. Try to twist from the belly button. 3, 2, And 1. Inhale, bring the legs back up through center, uncross them, and then bring both soles of the feet down to the mat again. Shift the bum around, re-neutralize if you want to press on the femurs again. And then do so. If you enjoy tilting the pelvis and finding your balance, then do so. This is your yoga practice. And then go ahead, we're going to bring up the left ankle to cross just above the right knee. Flex the left foot, drive the left knee out. Inhale, widen through the sit bones. As you exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers either behind the right thigh or above the right calf. But be careful not to start pressing your lower back into the mat to do so. Inhale, send it warm and wide through the hips. Exhale, drawing in and up, feeling this spaciousness we can create in the inner hip sockets. One more breath here. Slow and controlled exhale. Make the most of this moment for the piriformis muscle. Exhale fully to really release. And then release that leg, release the fingers that are interlacing over it. Cross the left leg over the right, bring out the arms to shoulder height and shift the bum a little over to the left side. Inhale to prepare and exhale. Allow the knees to come over to the right side, gazing over to the left side. Keep that left shoulder anchored. Shoulder anchored. Inhale, send the breath down into the hips. Exhale, think about twisting from the belly button. Inhaling into the lower belly, into the sit bones, and exhale, drawing in and up from the lower core. See how that adjusts your twist. And then on the next inhale, go ahead, bring the knees up, uncross the legs, shift the bum back under the middle, and then exhale, bring the legs out, down flat, and then bring them out as wide as the mat, or just as wide as feels good. Let the feet flop out to the side, bring the backs of the hands to the mat, slide the shoulders down the back, level the hips if you need to take a moment just to fidget a little bit, and then make strong determination to find some stillness just for a few breaths now, just natural breaths, closing the outer eyes. And just taking a moment to hit the save button on this practice that you've done, getting into your soft tissues and creating this healthy, balanced joint space. So we just take a few moments in our final resting posture, Shavasana, just to let all of that energy work set into your cells, set into your nervous system, program your mind to stand up straight through this day and to feel that contraction and expansion balance that we've created throughout. So just taking a moment, just keep a focus on the breath. And if the mind wanders, don't worry, don't stress, don't beat yourself up. But just like you would treat a small child that you were teaching something, or a dog, just gently, kindly, with a soft smile and patience, just bring it back to the breath. Remember, energy will always take the path of least resistance, and for years of unconsciousness, your mind has been allowed to wander and think and pile up thoughts. So it's very normal that it would go to its natural path that it's used to, but every time that we tell it to come back to the breath, just like that child will learn, and just like that puppy dog learns, eventually the mind will learn to sit, to wait, and to be patient, allowing you to enjoy all the days of your life with more spaciousness, creativity, less stress, so many good fruits of the spirit. And now we can just begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes as we start to come back around, coming back into this day, into this time-space reality, eagerly awaiting the wonderful blessings that life wants to pour onto you today. And when you're ready, rolling over to your favorite side, You can place a hand down next to your face and just take a moment here to breathe again. No rush. Feel what it feels like to let your body and your whole work ethic just slow down. And then we can press into that hand. Start to roll up, following the mid-body. Coming into a seated position, crossing the legs. And just taking a moment again, grounding down through the sit bones, sitting up tall through the top of the head. Inhale, circle sweeping the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, just bringing the hands through to prayer at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. We always bow to the teacher within. Namaste. And this will be a regular thing that we do every Friday, so please feel free to join then. Do the catch up with the Facebook page later because it will be there. And if you enjoy practicing yoga with me and you want to start making yoga more of a daily habit, then I have an online